For everyone who's a valedictorian, there's another 100 out there that they weigh 130 pounds and they've got calves the size of cantaloupes because they're hauling 75 pounds of marijuana across the desert. This was a shocking comment made by Representative Steve King of Iowa, talking about the children of illegal immigrants who may be eligible for the DREAM Act, which would send them to college. You know, I'm hoping that tonight you guys come away with really knowing what the Christian response is to the issue of illegal immigration and siding with those who are facing incredible hardships right now. I have a heart for immigrants, legal and illegal. I used to be in the restaurant industry and have a lot of interaction with immigrants, both undocumented and legal immigrants, and I really got to know a lot of their stories and really had a heart for these people. Many illegal immigrants are facing terrible hardships right now, including separation of children from their parents because of deportation and negative sentiment in America, including some very hateful rhetoric. And as Christians, we need to be on the side of loving and showing mercy to the immigrant and having God's heart in the situation. Tonight I want to open your eyes to the problems facing illegal immigrants, what the causes are of those problems, and what the Christian response should be. Alexis Molina was just 10 years old when his mother was abruptly cut out of his life, and his carefree childhood unraveled overnight. That's Helen O'Neill reporting from the AP about separations of children from their parents because of deportation. According to the same AP article, even though President Obama said that he would only focus on deporting criminal illegal immigrants, more than 45,000 parents have been separated from their children just in the first 6 months of 2012. Again, from the same article, at least 5,100 U.S. citizen children in 22 states live in foster care because of deportation. Negative sentiment and hateful rhetoric is very common in America right now. A Reuters poll in 2013 said that more than half of all Americans support deporting more or all of the 11 million illegal immigrants here, regardless of why they're here. According to a Reuters article, John McCain was giving a speech to his constituents, and one man said, why don't we just send the army down to the border and shoot these people? It's the only way to get through to them. Yvonne Gillen of Sojourners, a Christian advocacy magazine, talks about how the gentleman that I quoted earlier, Representative Steve King, actually has compared illegal immigrants to dogs. So what's the cause of the problem? One issue is that most Americans are very against liberal immigration policies that welcome a lot of people into the country, and they want more restrictive, low numbers of immigration. Pew Research says that for Christians, 2/3 of white evangelicals favor tougher and lower immigration levels. John Stapleford, who writes about economics and Christian ethics, talks about reasons that people don't support legal immigration in large numbers. They feel that wages will be drawn down, that more in public benefits will be taken than given back, that American culture will be eroded, and that the environment will be affected because of mass population. The immigration system is also just simply broken because of policy. John Stapleford also says that businesses during the economic boom turned a blind eye to illegal immigration because it was very good for business. They needed the cheap labor. And while businesses would get a slap on the wrist, illegal immigrants would really face a lot harsher penalties. John Stapleford also says that policies like NAFTA have driven down the price of crops on the Mexican-U.S. border, and that's going to displace 1.4 million Mexican farmers, which will put a lot of pressure on the border. Now that we've looked at the problems and the causes of those problems, I want to look at what the Christian response should be. As Christians, we're all immigrants. We're passing through this land to our home, and we're called sojourners. The Bible reveals God's heart for immigrants very clearly. In Deuteronomy 10:19, God says that He's a God who executes justice for immigrants. Genesis 12:1 is the story of Abraham being taken from his homeland and sent as a foreigner to another land to fulfill God's covenant. All the Old Testament laws always included immigrants in their laws. They had to be circumcised along with the Jewish people. They had to be treated the same way. They were under the same jurisdiction. The story of Ruth is a powerful story about God's heart toward immigrants, where Ruth is an immigrant that is brought into the family of God, and she ends up being in the line of Jesus Christ himself. The other issue is just the sanctity of individual human lives and families. We as Christians have to be on the side of keeping families together and respecting and honoring people's dignity, even if even if those people are here illegally. The fact of keeping families together and the sanctity of human life should really trump that for Christians. We've looked at tonight what the problems facing illegal immigrants are, what the causes are, and what the Christian response should be. And I just wanted to leave us with one really intriguing thought. The Bible has us focus very much so on missions, on world missions. What if God's brought the mission field to us? And this is a very powerful way for us to bring the gospel to people without having to go overseas. I just want us to go out of here today really realizing that we can be on the side of the immigrant and that we can have the heart of God as he feels about immigrants. And so when you find yourself looking at what the public policy is, looking at the sentiments out there, just be on the side of the gospel in all of this. Thank you for listening tonight.